AM and 93.1 FM, Fargo-Moorhead.
And welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. 104 right now, and we're looking at temperatures outside of Fargo. Well, not bad, right where they should be, 18 degrees. A little bit of flurries around the area, even some patchy fog, but all in all, not too bad out there. Again, thanks for joining us today. This is Weather and Ag in Focus. I'm meteorologist Justin Storm here with Ag Director Bridgette Readel. Certainly not last, Chief Meteorologist Dean Wysocki, and we were just kind of joking before the show started that every time Dean's phone goes off, we're going to be giving something away. So keep an ear out for the ringer tone.
I'm expecting a very important phone call.
What's
I'll
that,
just
Bridgette?
dial it all the time.
There we go. Yeah, we got some stuff to give away today, and we'll let you know what it is that we're giving away in just a moment. So stay tuned. But
You just said what we were giving away.
I never said what we were giving away, just that we were giving away something.
Bridgette, didn't he say what he was giving away once every time my phone?
Nope.
Okay, I'm not listening to you then.
You
obviously.
don't listen at all. You're too busy nose deep in your phone.
I'm looking at getting an audiologist who deals with hearing loss from loud farm equipment on, just so he can use Dean as his test sample.
Oh, I'm deaf from all the concerts I went to when I was younger. That's what I can't hear it. Or it's called
Call it what you will.
It's called selective hearing. You know,
that means
Sure.
two things. Well, fun things coming up on the show today, and we don't have a guest, and that's all right because we got lots of other things to talk about. We're going to do a little sneak peek, exclusive look only here on Weather and Ag in Focus through the spring, through the summer. What's the weather going to be looking like around our area? So we'll be tackling that throughout the show. Got a few ag topics that we're going to get to as well. One from yesterday, Three Sisters Planting System. This is just three sisters that come out and they plant your fields for you, Bridgette.
You could only hope so. I hope they're good with equipment.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. So we'll talk about that. We got a little bit of farm equipment we're going to talk about from the electronics show. AM radio fading due to EVs? Question mark?
In cars.
Is this like a tinfoil hat kind of topic here, Bridgette? Because I'm sensing a lot of tinfoil from this.
No,
The
it's
EVs
not.
block out the AM, or are they just not stocked with AM frequency radios?
We're going to talk about that. And first of all, again, this is going to be like yesterday. I don't know if I have enough time to debunk everything that you guys want to
That's my
create with your
tinfoil.
own hat. Right.
Speaking
Nice
of
work.
tinfoil, it's a good thing the windmills came back online. We're starting to blow the wind around a little bit, which is clearing out some of the fog. So lifting some of the pollution out of the valley, too.
Well, they turned the switch on finally.
Yeah, but now we're getting some snow snakes around the interstates out in open country. But that's not too big of an issue.
No.
A little snow snake never hurt anybody. I think we better go to
Unless you were
ABC
driving.
News. This is going to go downhill real
This is
quick.
going-
Stay tuned.
it already
Weather and Ag in
is.
Focus. We'll be right back.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. A lot of residual questions about a lot of residual delays following this morning's ground stop at airports across the country. There was a computer malfunction in one of the FAA's critical safety programs, which caused flights to remain on the ground. ABC's Sam Sweeney wondering,
how did this happen, and why did it take so long to get this fixed? Earlier this morning, we were alerted to this. They were delaying planes at the gate. They weren't allowing passengers to board. And then just after 7 o'clock in the morning, they grounded all flights across the country in the United States. That is an unprecedented move because of this system.
The White House says it doesn't appear to be a cyber attack, but they are investigating. The U.S. Supreme Court allowing New York to continue banning guns from places like playgrounds, schools, even Times Square, says ABC's Aaron Katursky.
The U.S. Supreme Court denied a move by a handful of gun owners to immediately halt the state's restrictions. The decision appeared unanimous, though Justices Alito and Thomas said it reflected respect for the appeals process rather than expressing any view on the merits of the case. New York had to rewrite its gun laws last summer after the Supreme Court invalidated its old permitting system.
Los Angeles got a brief lull, but the Bay Area has not from that wind and rain. There's also more bad weather on the way for the entire West Coast. ABC's Matt Rivers is near Lake Tahoe.
At least 17 people have died as a result of these storms. Tens of thousands of people currently under evacuation orders. Hundreds of thousands of people hunkering down, dealing with everything from flooding to landslides to even lightning and hail in some parts.
Nurses continue walking the picket lines in New York City, and they insist it's not a question of money, it's a question of safety.
As nurses, need to have time to sufficiently care for our patients. And right now, our healthcare system is at a crisis point.
Certified nurse midwife Christine Higgins says their patient-to-nurse ratio is as high as 20-1 in some ERs. You're listening to ABC News.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hi, this is Kayla with Sanctuary and Riverhaven Event Centers, and I'm here to tell you why I chose 702 Communications for all of our managed services, phone, internet, and security cameras. At our event center, we have hundreds of people coming into our business weekly, and it's so important for us to have cameras that we can rely on. We reached out to 702 so that they could give us a quote for installing brand new cameras in all areas of our building, and now we have 26 cameras so that we know every part of our building is under surveillance and we're secure. We've had cameras in our business for a while, but we reached out to 702 because we were having issues. A lot of them weren't working all the time. So 702 was able to come in, give us a solution, fix everything, install all brand new cameras, and now we know we've got better audio, better quality, and we have an app that we use that has full surveillance 24 hours a day for us to pull up and know exactly what's going on. As a business owner, that peace of mind is invaluable.
If you want more peace of mind for your business that's invaluable, call 702 Communications right now at 218-250-8700. Again, 218-250-8700. Call now because peace of mind is priceless.
Weather and Ag in Focus. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. A lovely day out there. Hint of sarcasm there.
That's beautiful. What are you talking about?
Hey, at least we're not dealing with the thick fog. We've got
75 and sunny somewhere.
Yeah, right. Not here. That's Miami. We've got a lot of clouds around, a stiff northwest wind now. That's kind of scouring out some of the fog, and eventually it's going to scour out that kind of unhealthy air that's been trapped here in the lower layers of the atmosphere. Thank goodness. We need that. And we'll be getting rid of this fog for the most part for Thursday and Friday. It might come back over the weekend as southerly winds dragging some warmer air. That warm air rides over that cold snowpack that could produce some more fog over the weekend. But we'll wait and see. We'll enjoy a couple days without the fog. Man, we're in 90 days. We're in big trouble if that old saying is correct. 90 days after after a thick fog, because we've had a week of it. We'll be come April. We better hope that's rain and not snow. Oof, man. Hey, during the show today, so we're gonna. Justin hinted at what we're gonna give something away today.
We are giving something away today.
We are going to give away.
Maybe
we're going to give away boat show tickets. That's later this month. So when you hear, we'll be playing a little snippet from Caddyshack when Rodney Dangerfield scratched his anchor. So when you hear that little clip, be the fifth caller, caller number 5. Whenever you hear that during the show, Jacob, our producer, will randomly play that. Be the fifth caller, and you can win a pair of tickets to the boat show here in town. So that'll be fun. It's a nice break from winter. You go out and look at all these boats and say, I could use that, I could use that, and I could use that.
Mm-hmm.
And also,
are you planning on taking all of your pets on this boat that you're going to be getting?
He's going to need
the cow, the chickens.
He's going to need a bigger boat.
I'm going to need a bigger boat for sure.
There's another reference there.
Yes. That's from Jaws?
Jaws.
That is from Jaws.
We're going to need a bigger boat.
Also this morning, Bridgette, the LRC just dropped all the way through September. So we've got to put our calendar together. Let me rephrase that. Justin's got to put our calendar together all the way through the upcoming spring, summer, and into early fall. A quick look at it. Didn't really get to dive too deep into it. With the exception of moisture and temperatures, and it, I think our agriculture community is going to like what we have to say. It really does look like a pretty good year, and we'll go into more detail on that. But when did we get out into the fields last year to plant?
Late.
Bridgette, was it how late in April?
It was May.
Was it early May?
Oh, it was into May for a lot of places. I mean, we still had corn.
Okay.
We had corn being well planted into May. We had some of the last soybeans were planted right around the 4th of July in certain places in the area. So yes, we had a lot of more late planting.
Okay. And I think this year will be a little different, it looks like.
Could be.
Okay.
Could be.
Definitely could be.
He doesn't want to give everything away.
You can't give it away right now. You got to keep people hooked.
You do. I know.
Otherwise, they take and then they leave.
We don't want that.
We don't want that. Because we got boat show tickets, too, to give away.
We do. And actually, I think once you guys have had a chance to look at that calendar, that's probably going to be a day just like this where it's the three of us, and that'll be our focal point. We'll want to make sure we share that with folks. Give them sort of a tease of what we're going to see.
Right. And we'll also be having our spring outlook. We'll have Gary on for that. He'll give a more in-depth detail on for our ag community, what it looks like for the spring and summer months. And we'll probably be doing that sometime in March. Haven't set down the dates on that yet, but probably, I'm guessing mid to late March. I think that's when we did it last year, and that's probably when we'll plan on doing that this year. Mm-hmm. You should do it in late March when I'm down in Arizona. Then you don't have to deal with me. If that's,
Okay, fine. So
maybe. We'll think
Justin
about
and
that.
I are looking at each other like, so? Okay, sure. Go ahead, Dean. Whatever you're going to do.
I mean, I got a few things I could throw in there. I'm just choosing to bite my tongue on them. But,
so go ahead.
I don't know. What were you going to
I was going to have Bridgette tackle this, your AM radio.
Well,
do we have time? We don't have time. We're going to have to get that after the break.
I think we do have time for this because, unfortunately, Bridgette, you're not going to be here tomorrow, correct?
Correct. I am not. I'm going to be speaking in Lancaster, Minnesota tomorrow with the Minnesota Crop Improvement Association.
Can we take a quick minute or two to talk about one topic from yesterday that we won't, or from tomorrow that we won't be able to get to?
Sure. What do you want to do?
We all know that me and Dean, I got Dean's chicken coop all set up for him.
Right.
And we got his chickens, and they finally have showed up, so now he's got the chickens and the cow. Well, what should we need to know about winterizing backyard chicken coops?
Well, it's not going to come. First of all, a lot of that has probably already been done for many of you because you've had them outside for quite some time now. But we know that winter's not over. We're fairly deep in snow. More will likely come, and we'll still have some cold blasts that are going to be coming at us. So making sure that you are managing your drafts, making sure those coops are insulated. Go back out and take a little look. See if you're finding any drafts that need to be repaired or where snow might be seeping in on those days where we have a little bit of wind and it sifts in through the holes. But also coops need to be well ventilated. Move the snow off so that you don't get that buildup of moisture or ammonia that really affects the poor air quality. So ventilation might be partially opening a south-facing window, taking snow off any roof vents, or putting burlap over an open window so you can get some air movement through your coop. And as always, as it gets to be colder, we don't want waters to freeze up. So keep those open, knock out the ice. It's very important when it gets to be cold weather that all of our animal friends have extra water. That's what helps them keep their energy levels up. So just a couple of reminders for folks to be doing.
We got a few things that we got to go do. So maybe you and I should cut out of here after Weather and Ag and Focus go winterize that chicken coop. Because I think it's
Would
in
Bridgette
summer
mind?
mode. I don't
want to leave Bridgette alone. That's not nice.
After the show.
Oh, after the show.
After the show.
Okay. We can do that.
When Dean says he's going to the gym.
Yeah.
Right.
You know they got a 2-for-1 special?
At the gym?
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, from 2 to 4.
And it's not
think we've
It's not a
I think
treadmill.
we've got we got to pay our bills. We've got commercial break coming up here.
Yep.
Why don't we go to that?
Yeah, let's go do that. Weather and Ag in Focus. We'll be right back.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender by Norton is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. 800-401-6681. That's 800-401-6681.
The Angie's List you know and trust is now Angie, and we're so much more than just a list. We still connect you with top local pros and show you ratings and reviews, but now we also let you compare upfront prices on hundreds of projects and book a service instantly. We can even handle the rest of your project from start to finish. So remember, Angie's List is now Angie, and we're here to get your job done right. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
Hi, Nancy Kelly here from Labor Masters. I'd like to take time to say thank you to the businesses, the homeowners, and the 1,500 plus employees that worked with us this past year. We know that without you, there would be no us. So thanks to each and every one of you for helping us have another successful year. And remember, if you need seasonal help, give us a call at 701-566-8755 or find us online at labormasters.net. From all of us at Labor Masters, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year.
Do you suffer with stiff, achy, painful joints? Is pain keeping you from enjoying life to the fullest? Stop joint pain today with Xana Nutrition's A-Calm. A-Calm is a powerful topical cream that helps soothe muscles and sore joints while promoting healthy blood flow. This breakthrough formula is fast-acting and long-lasting, so you can face the day pain-free. It's also loaded with ingredients to help moisturize dry, cracked skin. If you're looking for less pain and more life, A-Calm is your answer. The result is a happier, healthier you. This revolutionary product has helped thousands of people feel better and get back to the lives they deserve. This month only, get 30% off your first order by using promo code 30 at xananutrition.com or by calling 866-420-6700. Again, that's promo code 30 at xananutrition.com or simply call 866-420-6700. Call now or miss out on living the life you deserve.
And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. Thanks for rejoining us. 122 this afternoon. Temps in the mid-upper teens. Couple low 20s around our area. Couple light snow flurries as well. Not too much to worry about with that. Just a cloudy, pleasant day for January. I'm meteorologist Justin Storm with Chief Meteorologist Dean Wysocki and Ag Director Bridgette Readel. And thank you for rejoining us. And Bridgette, why don't we tackle what I was imagining to be a tinfoil hat conversation starter, and let's just see if I can fold my hat by the time you finish this conversation. What's going on with these AM radios fading due to the EVs, but not in tractors or combines?
Okay, guys, how many times have you bought a new vehicle these days and thought, do I have AM radio? Okay,
I need to buy a car
that's just not on our radar. Okay, fair enough. But most vehicles now are no longer worried about AM radios, and especially electric vehicles. Apparently there's a little interference with the AM side of things, but that's not the case when we still have tractors and combines. A lot of our rural areas still get AM radio as some of their best signal versus FM or even satellite, or excuse me, I shouldn't say satellite, but on your cellular phone if you wanted to stream things. So AM radio still is pretty prevalent, especially for our tractors, our combines. Also, that's the crowd that wants to hear what you and I have to say every day. Sports, news, weather, and farm information. So I'd say we're probably winning with this situation. Also, AM radio still is very good for an emergency alert system. And we just don't see it leaving anytime soon. There's a big plus to us being part of the ag community and keeping this in the equipment. So glad to hear that folks are still listening to us any way they can here again on AM 970, 93.1 FM. Don't forget that if you do have good cell service, you can stream us off our website, and you can also watch the live stream video on Facebook, YouTube, and Acres TV.
That's half the fun.
You can get us all sorts of ways.
Yeah,
The half the fun is
videos.
watching us, right?
Yeah, I think it's the most fun part about it.
Especially when he breaks out the Reynolds wrap or the tin foil and look out.
We do some, and just the looks on each other too some days, like, did you really just say that?
Did he?
Yeah.
So tell us about the Consumer Electronics Show. That's out in Vegas, is it not, Bridgette?
It is always held right after the first of the year in January. Have you guys ever looked at anything that comes out of that Consumer Electronics Show? Any of the specialized equipment that people talk about, or any of the new ideas that come out there?
I have not. No. Tell us about it.
It's huge. This is a great big show. John Deere has been exhibiting there for the last 5 years. When you think about consumer electronics, normally farm equipment isn't part of that, but more and more we are starting to see that happening. And this year was another big step for John Deere. They were the keynote speaker and presenter. So what did they want to talk about? A couple of different things. One is they have a new process called Exact Shot, and this is for fertilizer. They're using sensors and robotics to place their starter fertilizer precisely where the seed goes in the row. So if you think about planting corn, a lot of times when you're putting fertilizer down at the time of planting, you're going to have that fertilizer going right down the row with you the whole time, and then seed gets dropped occasionally. What Exact Shot will do is place the seed and the fertilizer at the same time in a very specific space, so it's not a broadcast on the field, so to speak. There are other companies that have done something similar to that, but John Deere is going to make the biggest splash with it and probably be the biggest promoter because they are the largest equipment manufacturer for farms in North America. The other thing they unveiled is a new electric excavator. So if you are needing to be using larger construction equipment in areas, maybe they're indoors or you need decreased noise, this electric excavator is now going to be presented by John Deere's construction side of their business. So
I've seen
two things that started out there.
It looks pretty cool.
Nice. This should help production for sure.
Yeah, definitely will.
I think it does. And the new excavator complements what Bobcat did last year when they brought out an electric skid steer. And that skid steer is great for use like indoors. So let's say when Dean's got to redo his basement and he needs a tiny little skid steer to go down there and bust up the concrete.
His
now he can
basement's
take an
not
electric
that
one
big.
in there. We're not putting a tiny Bobcat down there?
Not yet.
I don't even think you'll get it through the front door.
I mean, with the chickens and the cow and
man.
Now
That's
I'm
right.
going,
That's
you
right.
know.
And John Deere had a lot of. What's that?
Hey, you scratched my ankle.
Caller number
Sounds to me
5
like
will win a
caller
pair of boat
five.
show
Number
tickets.
five.
Caller number 5.
And let's
Gonna
see.
need
Caller
them
number
coming in.
1 and try again. Oh, let's see. I got to drop them. Got to drop. All right. Caller number 2. Try again. Caller number 3. Try again.
This is like.
Hi.
A
Who's this?
Jason.
Jason?
Yeah.
Ah, Jason, I'm sorry you were so close. You're caller number 4.
Oh.
And hello, caller. Who's this?
Chris.
Chris, you're caller number 5. Congratulations. You're winning a pair of tickets to the boat show.
Yay.
Congratulations,
Yeah,
Chris. Have you been there before or no?
Oh, yeah.
It's always
I won tickets last year, and it cost me $100,000.
Those are expensive tickets. Well, our thanks for listening. We appreciate it, and congrats. And our producer Jacob will get all the information for you, and just feel free to stop by our studios during regular business hours to pick those up.
Okay, thank you.
All right, stay on the line. All righty. There we go.
It's awesome to know all those people were just waiting on the edge of their seats, maybe even listening to AM radio, waiting to dial to get their free tickets to the boat show.
Now they're all Now they're all leaving. No, I'm just kidding. This is how we get them all back. How about we give away a second pair later on today? Can we give away?
Right.
Can we give away 2 pairs?
We can.
I mean, I've only got about 84 of them.
Did you steal that? I mean, did you take that many?
I was given that many boat show tickets. Okay. Yeah, so we'll give another pair away throughout the show. So stay tuned. When you hear the Caddyshack, you scratched my anchor. Well, you'd be caller number 5. You'll win another pair of tickets to the boat show, which is coming up, I think, in 2 weekends from now, right? 26th, 27th, somewhere around there?
Correct.
All righty.
Mark your calendars. You just never know when you may need something to do that weekend.
And it's always fun to go to that because again it kind of gets you out of the winter doldrums, gets you thinking about summer and can't beat it.
You know, I've never been to the boat show.
Do they have ice houses too?
If it's on a boat,
do they have ice houses and other recreational things?
For the one here in March, no, or the one here this month, I don't think so. I think this is mainly geared towards spring and summer.
Something to look forward to. You know, we should go. You know where I was given all those tickets, but when I was there, I noticed that there was a company credit card in the drawer too. Maybe we go buy a company boat.
It's been nice working with you.
We'll get a boat before I'm out of here.
Hey, you two, if you're thinking we need a boat this spring to go places for this company, that tells me the LRC is not going to be working in my favor.
Yeah, right. That's for sure. No doubt. I think he's just...
Don't do that.
Well, stay tuned because we'll take a look at that LRC and the forecast for what it looks like coming up here in just a moment. So stay tuned. Weather and Ag in Focus. We'll be right back.
Attention business owners, did you know that burglary and theft in Fargo is nearly 2 times higher than the national average? Walmart recently said that if theft doesn't slow down, they'll have to raise prices and shut down stores. Target projects they'll lose $600 million in net profits this year due to theft. As a business owner, you need to protect your business and your profits. You need a security solution. And right now, for a limited time only, 702 Communications is offering business security solutions that will protect you, your business, your employees, and your profits. To find out if you qualify for a 702 Communications business security solution, call right now at 218-304-8676. Again, that's 218-304-8676. Imagine the peace of mind you'll have knowing that your security solution is monitoring your business 24/7, 365. That peace of mind is priceless. So call now at 218-304-8676. Again, 218-304-8676.
Hi, this is Kevin Pfeiffer with Pfeiffer's Auction Company. Pfeiffer's upcoming January 2023 auctions include 160 acres of good cropland in Burke County, 339 acres of cropland north of Dickinson in Dunn County, 305 acres of exceptional cropland in Cass County near Erie, 320 acres of highly productive cropland near Hope, North Dakota in Steele County, and 239 acres of exceptional cropland in Foster County near Kensel. View these auctions and many more land and equipment auctions at Pfeiffer's.com.
Farmers know a thing or two about being tough, and they hold their wheat to that same standard. Their fields need to be able to take on anything, because there's no telling what tomorrow has in store. That's why Westbred brand wheat offers varieties like the new WB 9606, offering good stress tolerance, and WB 9719, offering outstanding yield potential and excellent standability. Meet your standards of excellence. Plant Westbred. Performance may vary.
When it comes to cereal disease protection, Prosaro Pro 400 SC fungicide from Bayer makes all the difference. With 3 effective active ingredients for overlapping control of foliar and head diseases, and a flexible application window for head scab, it's formulated to lower DON, protect yield potential, and promote superior grain quality. Prosaro Pro, the future of plant health starts here. Visit prosaropro.com to learn more. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
The famous chips. The potato chip, the chocolate chip, the computer chip, the poker chip, the paint chip, and the windshield chip. Glass Doctor of Fargo Moorhead wants to remind you that the difference in temperature outside and inside your vehicle can make a little chip grow into a real budget buster. So make your repair or replacement appointment today at Glass Doctor of Fargo Moorhead. Call or go online at glassdoctor.com/Fargo. That's glassdoctor.com/Fargo.
Call the Glass Doctor, we'll fix your paint.
We have a lot to celebrate around here, like another great Bison football season and another year in the books.
So turn to North Dakota Sweet Crude, and whether you're celebrating a great football season or just winding down at home, you can enjoy that smooth cinnamon and spice moonshine recipe that helps you relax at the end of a crazy day. Try a Dakota Sweet Lemonade or a Dakota Sour, 2 of more than 50 recipes made with North Dakota Sweet Crude or Sweet Crude Orange. Find them at crudespirits.com.
For 20 years, Kilbourne Group has invested in historical redevelopment and mixed-use infill designed to create a vibrant 18-hour city. As downtown Fargo grows, so does demand for living in this walkable neighborhood. We have 2 new Opportunity Zone projects underway to meet that demand, and we invite you to invest with us. Both are Class A multifamily projects with market-leading amenities like smart apartment technology, butterfly package rooms, and pet-centric services. For more on our Opportunity Zone investment fund, click invest at kilbournegroup.com. That's kilbournegroup.com.
Welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus here on WDAY. I'm Bridgette, Readel, Ag Director, along with meteorology staff, Dean Wysocki, Chief, and Justin Storm. Today, so many things going on that we want to talk about. Tomorrow, unfortunately, I can't be here. I'm going to be in Lancaster, Minnesota with the Minnesota Crop Improvement Association. Myself and Jason Hansen, both members of the Ag Mafia, are on the agenda. If you're around the Monoman area, you might want to swing into the meeting that Pro Ag Service and Insurance is hosting. They're going to have Daryl Richardson on the docket to talk about historical meteorology trends, Luke Swenson with the Money Farm, and the guy I would want to hear as well is Jim Weisenmeyer, and Jim is with Pro Farmer. So lots of things going on. It is already the winter meeting season for many of us, but it's also, in the state of California, a bomb cyclone. So guys, is that just a trendy, fun word, or is it really a bomb cyclone?
It's way overused.
What was the other one? You were just telling me about this in the office.
Atmospheric river.
No. It was longer than that. It was a conglomerate of that and something else.
It was an atmospheric river storm. I'm like,
atmospheric river storms.
And they just overuse those. It's hype. I mean, it's bad out there. So it is. Hype. Yeah.
Okay, so they're getting a lot of rain. There's no doubt. California has had a lot of regions in drought. Does this take away the drought? I mean, in my opinion, I'm thinking it's raining too hard, too fast. They're not going to get absorption as much as they're going to get runoff.
It puts a small dent in it. But yeah, that's the problem. It comes too hard, too fast. Now, if we continue with these storms through the spring, sure, it will help. Now, what's really going to help is all the snowpack at the higher elevations, because when that does melt, that's going into the reservoirs. That will help out quite a bit. But in terms of the overall drought situation, again, this part of the LRC cycle will come back in about a month and a half or so. But as it does, is it going to hit California, or is it going to be further north? Again, it's depending on how the jet stream aligns. But the West Coast is going to get bombarded again with these storms, and more than likely it'll probably be a little bit north. But as we head into spring, we're seeing signs that El Nino is going to develop. Now, the pattern that we have right now, we're in a La Nina pattern, and with that being said, typically La Nina patterns, California's pretty dry, but there's a little exception this year with the jet stream and the LRC as well. And we'll see what happens when El Nino kicks in and starts to kick in the spring months. Does that bring a return flow back onto the California coast? So it will be back around in about a month and a half. As that happens, again, we're a little later in the winter, almost going into spring, as the jet stream starts to lift back north. This is the southern jet that's bringing all this moisture in. Is the southern jet going to be active next time around? If it's not, then areas of Washington and Oregon and British Columbia will probably get hit with the barrage of these storms. So we'll wait and see. If it continues through the spring, yeah, it will help their drought conditions quite a bit. But I'm more looking at the snowpack and how that's going to fill the reservoirs come spring. That'll help out quite a bit.
So I have some comments from a dairy farmer from Lodi, California, which is not far from Sacramento. And his name is Hank Van Essel. And Hank has mentioned that there's some real reasons for what's going on out there. First of all, California doesn't have a lot of dams. or reservoirs to help stop some of this water flow. So if you all saw the Ellen DeGeneres video, which why was she standing next to all that moving water in the first place?
Yeah.
That's on her. She's saying Mother Nature is mad at us. Well, the reality is California, things have changed. There's not a dam and reservoir system to hold some of that water back. So about 70%, 70 or 75% of that precipitation is going to go right to the ocean. There's nothing to hold it. With all the urbanization and construction, you don't have as much forest and vegetation. People continue to clear that out so that you've got water that just flows through, which again brings erosion, a lot of mudslides, etc. But also the wind. They're reporting 60-mile-an-hour winds that are laying down barns, lean-tos, causing damage. And all of this rainfall then also fills manure pits and things like that and can overflow them. And then when that happens, that starts moving downstream too.
Sounds like
so
a stinky situation.
there's a lot of things. Afraid so. There's a lot of stuff going on in California.
Yeah, unfortunate when it comes this hard, this fast. It's mostly runoff. I think they might have put. I was reading in the article their drought conditions went from extreme drought from 85% to like 70%, somewhere around it. So it did put a small dent in it, but we need a couple more months of this, just not all at once. Yeah, just kind of a few waves here and a few waves there.
Yeah, 10-inch plus downpours don't necessarily go into the ground very well. Like you said, that's pretty fast and furious moving.
But the 6 feet of snow, 6 feet just in one round up in the upper elevations, 6 feet.
That's a good, healthy amount of snow right there.
I mean, that's, and
what would you, thankfully that doesn't happen here. But what if it did? I mean,
72 inches in a matter of 48 hours.
What do? You go to bed, you wake up, there's 3 feet of snow on the ground, there's another 2 by the end of the day, and then you get another 2 feet that night. I mean, what would you do in a situation like Fargo? I mean, how does...
Well, in the upper elevations...
You buy a bigger snowblower, number one. Two, one thing I saw out of that
snowmobile?
Well, you would. You'd have a snowmobile. One of the things I saw out of the Consumer Electronics Show was a automated snowblower / lawnmower. Like you could change it out. It could do either thing. So maybe you go to bed, but you program your snowblower to clean your driveway while you're asleep.
Hey, there you go.
I like that.
There's a possibility.
Kind of going along the same plan or ideas that I was on Facebook. This was back in the summer. But there were 2 things, and it was like a Roomba for your yard. It was a lawnmower.
Yeah.
And you would set up the boundaries, and it would go and it would mow your yard every other day or whatever you wanted to program it to. And then there was a second Roomba, but it was designed for weeding your home garden.
Okay, so the first one I've seen, and I know that they're already available. You program them, they go out, do a certain amount of grass, then they got to go back and recharge. So it's like your lawn is continuously being mowed in different regions. The one for weeding your yard, I want to know more about that because
what was your garden?
What weeds does it?
No,
weeding your garden. Yes, but what does it recognize? How does it tell the difference between the fact that I planted sunflowers versus a wild sunflower? How does it know exactly what it's taking out in a situation where you have so many plants? It's not like a continuous soybean field where you can tell exactly what's supposed to stay versus what should go.
Well, I think what it is, and maybe they have some selective identification cameras on there. There's an acronym for that. But I think it's more you use it after you have planted and your plants are established. They're 6 inches or taller, or maybe they're a little big. Maybe, they're not just coming out of the ground. They got some height to them. And then I think it trims almost like a weed whacker or something, or I don't know how it works, but I think it does all the underneath stuff, the little things, the grass, the things that are just emerging, the regular weeds. I think that's what it is.
So then it's working in the... Sure, that makes sense because then it's working underneath the canopy and it doesn't have to worry about distinguishing between the different broadleaves or grasses, etc.
Right.
That would make more sense. Also, if you could put a bucket on it so that it could water as it went along, I'd be okay with that. Because I will tell you, there are times in the summer I get tired of going from rain barrel to garden and back and forth a lot.
Should get you a pump and a sprinkler.
Heads up.
Just throw the pump right into the rain
That's
barrel.
why. So this might be why I hire a kid from down the street to come on over and carry watering cans around a lot.
Well, it's a summer gig. He's making a little bit of money. And, if someone out there has one of these lawn mowing Roombas, the garden weeding Roomba, give us a call. Let us know how it works out, how it works. Do you like it? Is it worth how much it is? Because it's stupid expensive. 701-293-9000. And I had realized we haven't given out the phone numbers this entire show, and we gave those boat show tickets away. We had like 20 people call us, and we didn't even give the phone numbers out once.
You have smart listeners.
Those people are good.
They are, yeah. So if you ever want to call into the show, reach out to 701-293-9000, because you never know when you might want to pick up that phone and give us a jingle.
Hey, you scratched my ankle.
Second pair of tickets. Caller number 5.
Yeah, caller number
701-293-9000. 701-293-9000. Second pair of those boat show tickets later this month.
That's going to be exciting. And then I want to go. I haven't gone to it, but I want to. Hi there, caller. You're caller number 1. Try again. And caller number 2. I'm sorry. Try again. Caller number 3. Try again.
Don't do it.
I can't do it this time. I'm sorry. You're caller number 4. Hello, who's this?
Kevin.
Kevin, you're caller number 5. Congratulations. You just won a pair of tickets to the boat show.
Perfect.
You going to buy a boat while you're there?
Not unless you give me your company credit card.
Well, I might be able to sneak one boat under the rug before it gets caught. I don't know about 2, Kevin, but
Hey, that's fine. All we need is one. I'll take you fishing.
Hey, we'll go out.
There you go.
There we go. All right.
you go.
Stay on the line, Kevin. Our producer will get some information from you.
Thank you.
You guys, you're not getting a boat. You're only getting a canoe at that price, right?
Still a boat.
It's still
a boat.
Right? Absolutely.
Just checking. All right, as long as it floats,
Right?
you're good. You're okay with that. Glad to hear that, guys.
And we got a fishing
Good
trip out of the
grief.
deal.
Yeah, he's going to take us fishing.
Yeah.
That works. He didn't say where.
Yeah.
He didn't say where. Hope it better be somewhere warm.
Yeah.
Well, by summer, though, it's warm up here. Plenty of lakes.
there
Plenty
you
of lakes
go.
for sure.
Well, should we hit
In a
another
canoe.
egg topic, Bridgette? This is one.
Sure, what do you
this
wanna
is
talk
one
about?
from yesterday. We didn't get time to get to, and I was kind of curious by it. And it's the Three Sisters planting system. Is this like an actual piece of equipment, or is this three sisters that go out and help you plant your fields?
Okay, let's go back to your elementary school days, shall we? If you remember talking about when the Pilgrims came and they were taught by the Native Americans a planting system where you used corn as your taller crop, then you'd plant beans next to them so that the beans could curl up the corn, and then you would plant pumpkins, which would act as a cover crop. That's actually being a system that's being used more by the NRCS in Rhode Island. They're promoting that because that helps you in a couple of different ways. First of all, you get your corn that holds everything in place for as far as ground protection. You get the beans that provide additional nitrogen for the corn plant, and the pumpkins or squash act as ground cover to prevent weeds, but also additional erosion. And so they're just touting that as an intercropping system method that could be used, not saying that it's perfected, that we're all going to run right out and plant all three of those crops together, because our harvesting equipment would have to be very different, be a bit more labor intensive, but wanting to share with folks that that's a mentality to use when it comes to planting, that system can help us in a variety of ways, again, with erosion, with nitrogen management, and also when it comes to even crop quality as far as how we plant, interseed, and crop together. So just a system that's being looked at and proposed to be used more and more.
So let me get this straight. You plant the corn, you plant beans that grow up the corn, and then to stop the weeds from growing underneath it, you grow pumpkin or squash. And this actually
because
works
if you've ever
out?
grown pumpkin, they shade out. Yes. I know a lot of folks that do that in their home gardens, and it's very effective.
Come harvest time, I would think that'd be a little difficult.
I feel like it would be very difficult.
With equipment, it would be. Again, this is the concept that they're using. This is different when you are using a small scale operation that uses more hand labor than if you're using mechanization where you're trying to run a combine through there, because there's going to be a lot of squished pumpkins trying to get that corn out.
I might have to try that this year.
You should.
'Cause that sounds
in your garden
interesting.
system.
But don't
you know what else you could do?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to
Go
say,
ahead.
don't
Finish up.
they fight for the nutrients in the soil? They fight for the water. I mean, obviously, you just give them more water if it's a home garden. And you had mentioned that something deposits nitrogen back into the soil. But my initial thought is if you're planting those first or three things on top of each other, aren't they just going to battle for the nutrients and water?
You're always going to want to have enough water for everybody involved. Corn will tap down further and will go for a deeper root system to find deeper water. Soybeans, which would be more shallow, they're nitrogen fixing, so they create nitrogen that they put back in the soil that the corn would uptake, and then you'd have the pumpkins as well on top of that for shade. And pumpkins, actually a lot of their moisture goes in through their, not through their root system, but through their leaves. They have such big leaves that they take a lot of that dew and moisture in, so they take moisture up in a different way. So that's a real possibility to look at. Now, when we have Randy Nelson with us on Friday as our guest, Randy is Clay County Extension Educator. We're going to talk about picking your garden seeds, writing your garden map. This Three Sisters planting concept would probably be a great topic of conversation with Randy as we get into more discussions with him.
I am going
So that'll be
to
Thursday.
get every bit of information on that I can get out of Randy, because I'm going to try this, and I'm going to let you know how it turns out in the upcoming harvest.
Photos will be required.
Oh,
so,
it's
yes.
always photos or it never happened. But we need to get updated from the American Ag Network first, so stay tuned, because Weather and Ag in Focus will be right back.
Are you suffering from neuropathy? Do you experience stabbing pain, numbness, tingling, or burning in your feet? Are you tired of sleepless nights and avoiding life due to pain? If you've been diagnosed with neuropathy or are experiencing pain or numbness in your feet, pick up the phone and call us right now before it's too late at 701-929-7545. Again, that's 701-929-7545. Neuropathy is a very serious and progressive disease where your nerves start to break down. Eventually, it leads to balance problems, falls, complete loss of independence, and it can lead to amputation. Our program addresses the underlying causes and doesn't simply mask your symptoms with medication. In fact, many patients start experiencing relief from neuropathy symptoms within weeks. There's no surgery and no use of prescription drugs. Pick up the phone right now and call 701-929-7545. Call us today at Dakota Clinic of Chiropractic at 701-929-7545 today.
We don't believe the future can wait for the future. We are City of Hope doctors. We advance science that saves lives. City of Hope research has led to the development of synthetic human insulin and 4 of the most widely used cancer-fighting drugs. We are maximizing the potential of immunotherapy and making precision medicine a reality. We have performed more than 13,000 bone marrow and stem cell transplants with unparalleled survival rates. With 3 manufacturing facilities, we can turn laboratory discoveries into new therapies faster. Today, we are pioneering stem cell therapies for patients with cancer, diabetes, even autoimmune diseases. It's not enough to promise patients a future cure. We must find it now. For over a century, we've been driven to discover the answers that don't exist. Find out more at cityofhope.org.
Grain markets see positive money flow, livestock moderately lower on Wednesday. This is the American Ag Network. I'm Jesse Allen with this closing market update. Well, generally positive money flow seen on Wednesday's trade, especially in the grains as we gear up for the big data dump from USDA on Thursday, the January World Agricultural Supply and Demand Estimates report and quarterly grain stocks report. A lot of things to take in here with this report. In the big picture, we see a lot of different moving parts. South American weather, of course, a key concern of the trade right now, with dryness in Argentina becoming more and more of a concern to traders. We have China's reopening. We have the general inflation concerns of fund managers and more. Just a lot of things to take in here, but overall positive money flow seen in the grains on Wednesday as we start to square up positions ahead of Thursday's report day. Livestock moderately lower, not a whole lot to talk about there. Not really a good positive money flow day in cattle and hogs on Wednesday. Final numbers on Wednesday. Corn for March up 1, 6.56. July corn up a half a penny, 6.48 and a half. Soybeans for March finished 8 higher, 14.93. July beans up 6 1/4, 14.97 3/4. March bean meal up 5.70 a ton, 4.74.60. March bean oil down 46.6211. March Chicago wheat 9 higher, 7.40. July Chicago wheat up 8, 7.52 1/4. March KC wheat up 10 1/2, 8.22 1/4. Spring wheat for March, that was up 4 1/2 at 8.99 on the day on Wednesday. Also July spring wheat, that was up 3 1/2, 8.91 3/4. February live cattle unchanged, 157.75. April down 32, 161.32. January feeder cattle down 117, 183.12. March down 95, 185.55. February hogs down 50, 79.30. April hogs down 112 at 88.40. That's a look at closing markets on the American Ag Network. I'm Jesse Allen.
Welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus, 1:53 this afternoon. Thanks for rejoining us. Still 18 degrees, a little foggy out there, some patchy flurries. But what about the rest of the day and the upcoming couple of days? Is the fog finally going away? Are we seeing warmer temperatures on the way? Is it going to come with snow? No, I don't think it's going to come with snow. Dean, what do you say about that?
It will not come with snow.
All
No,
right,
I don't see. I see us being snow free here all the way through next week. Might be
24-inch snow bet's looking more and more attractive.
He's not going to win that snow bet. There's no way.
Sorry, Jay.
But yeah, I mean, it's been a very dry January, and January typically is pretty dry around here. So is July, and we're going to continue with that dry trend all the way through this weekend into next week. Might be something around the towards the end of next week or the following weekend. Keeping an eye on that. But other than that, it's just a dry looking forecast. These storm systems continue to, as they kind of were in the first LRC cycle, going to our south, going to our south, going to our south, and that continues to be the case now. As we're almost through with our second cycle, coming up on entering the start of the third cycle here. In a few weeks as we head into February, but other than that, it's just it's quiet.
Speaking of the LRC cycles, I know we were talking about it earlier, but I couldn't quite remember because I was doing a bunch of background stuff here on the computer. Did we touch on what the spring and summer were going to look like up in our area?
We have not.
We have not. Should we? Bridgette, I know you had a question.
Tell you what, real quick, we've got 5 minutes left. We have 5 rain gauges that you've got 30 days to pick up your prize. Okay. And these are nice rain gauges from Productive Alternatives down in Fergus Falls. So we've got 5 of those downstairs. Let's give one away right now. First caller that can tell us what LRC stands for. We talk about it all the time. It's our long-term weather forecasting technique. So the first caller that can tell us what LRC stands for, you'll win one of our rain gauges that's sitting downstairs. A couple of our winners in the past haven't. It's been, some of them are over 60 days sitting down there.
For
so
80 days.
Yeah, so let's give one of those away. Again, what does LRC stand for?
701-293-9000. Let's go to the studio line right now. Hi, caller. Who's this? What's your name?
Joe.
Joe. What does LRC stand for?
Leaves Act Returning Cycle.
Bingo.
You just won yourself a rain gauge there, Joe.
All right, Joe. Thank you for. Well, you must be a regular listener if you know exactly what that stands for. So we appreciate that. And although you can't use a rain gauge quite
right
yet
now,
but these are real nice. So feel free to stop by our studios during regular business hours. Pick that up and stay on the line. Our producer Jacob will get all the information he needs.
Okay.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks.
All right. Where do we go from that? Oh,
Hey,
yeah,
guys.
we're talking Bridgette.
Oh, it's me. I'm over here. So all the winter storms that we had through December put an unprecedented amount of pressure on U.S. electrical grid. And some of the largest electrical operators in the nation have said they are asking people to be more electronically conservative, to think ahead about these things, especially during storms, what they can do to try to counteract some of the situations. So let's say you're a local power company, even if you're just a local lineman. Is it worth your time to listen to the LRC, to subscribe to the LRC in order to predict what some of these are? So for some of your staffing, for some of the notices that you want to put out to your consumers, any thoughts there on what that might look like?
I think it has a huge potential application for electric companies because, you know, when the cold snaps are coming, the heat snaps are coming, the big storms, the winter storms, well, and those are all times that energy consumption peaks.
I'll give you a good example. We got a couple minutes. When I first started out in weather, we had to do private forecasting for a company called Wisconsin Power and Electric, and I don't know what they're named now. And for every degree that you're off, because they have to purchase energy, we had a big Arctic cold outbreak coming, and for each degree you're off can cost them hundreds of thousands of dollars. So if an electric company knows that, hey, we've got an Arctic outbreak coming the last week in January, they can purchase that energy at a cheaper cost before that Arctic outbreak hits and save literally millions of dollars if it's a widespread Arctic outbreak. So yes, the LRC can absolutely save a lot of money doing that, without a doubt. Good question.
Well, and you know, there's a whole article that I've been reading that accompanies the reason I brought it up, and it simply has to do with the fact that we have aging facilities for our electrical grid across the nation. And we have got to realize that those upgrades have to happen, and we have to plan for these types of things to continue. When you're in the farming community, you're already using generators, whether they're PTO driven or diesel driven. You have to make sure, which if it's PTO driven, eventually there's diesel on it somewhere, right? Because it's running off the tractor. But you've got to make sure that you're planning ahead for this. And with the considerations that we have with our power grid and the way storms come in, I think that this is a bigger concern than most might realize.
Yeah.
Well, even stretching down and just like the average lineman that goes out there every time you get a power outage when a thunderstorm comes through, you know, they're the people that go out at 1 a.m. to go fix your power. You know, that could be a big thing, you know, like, oh, yeah, there's going to be a big storm. Last time this came through, it was a huge cold front. It's probably going to bring a bunch of damaging wind. Maybe I should be around for this evening, or maybe I should book a vacation over that weekend. So
exactly.
Exactly.
So we'll let the second crew go for it. But that'll do it for us here on Weather and Ag in Focus. We want to thank you for joining us today. We'll be back tomorrow, 1 to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And remember, you can always find us on Facebook and YouTube. Watch our shows, our interviews, and little short clips in between on there. So we'll be back tomorrow. Have a great day. The Jay Thomas Show is next.
970 WDAY AM and 93.1